Hey guys, so today I had something really special come in the mail and it just deserved a video. I know it's been a while since my last video, but to be honest, I haven't really been buying anything. I've been buying the odd cases of the sets that have been coming out, but the world's not in a good place at the moment, so don't think Pokemon is a priority for a lot of people. So everyone's really in the same boat. There's no one really doing anyone really doing better than anyone else. You just have to get by. But as you know, I have been trying to sell a few of my high-end cards this year to hopefully buy a house at some point later on this year. Maybe get pushed to next year, just depends how things go. I would say I've done about 60% of the sales I really wanted to do. I did sell my first edition Charizard a few weeks back, which was a good chunk. Hopefully I can get a sale on one of these Pikas fairly soon. One of the deals that I had for the Pika and the VS set fell apart. After 6 months of negotiating and whatnot, we were really close to finally finishing it, and the guy backed out from the VS set, and I just said no to selling him a Pika. So yeah, I'm just really trying to find a buyer for one of the Pikas, as I definitely want to keep one of them. I don't mind which one I sell, as this PSA 8 one is an original one that came in the case, and then this one is one that I traded an SSB number 3 for from a guy in, I think it's Singapore, Malaysia, but he lives in Japan as well, as far as I know. So I got that from him last year. So there's that. But I'm still buying here and there if I get a good deal, as most people are these days. If there's a real good deal, there are people willing to pay the money. But yeah, so let's get into the card that I have purchased. So when that deal for the Pika fell apart, I was a bit on the fence of not thinking about buying a house. So I did pursue a card that I've been in talks for about 10 years. Then the sale of the Charizard happened. So I'm a bit optimistic at the moment that I might be able to buy a house this year. Because I want to get a decent sized house. I don't want to buy a small one and then have to move in a few years. So I ended up negotiating a price for the card. It was probably the most expensive card that I've bought. It cost me just over £65,000, and that's more than I paid for the Illustrator a couple of years ago, which I did sell. It's more than the Pikachu number 1, 98 Pikachu number 1 that I bought, which graded a PSA 10. I think that cost me just under £60,000 at the time. So this is, from my memory, the most expensive card that I bought. So for context, I've just nicked my wife's phone to open this website. So this is the old E4 site. They've renamed it recently from what I've seen. I don't know why the splits happened or anything like that, but here's a post from me in 2013, as there was a chat going on about trophies we've never seen. And I was actually in talks with the guy. I don't even remember how I got his details. And at the time, because he's from Japan, I think there was some misunderstanding. But as far as I understood at the time, he sold all of his cards. There's a picture online that you probably can find of two Battle Road cards with the VS Wind. But unfortunately, this website doesn't work anymore. It doesn't even load up. So you can't actually find them anymore. So I will show you what I've purchased now. So at the time I thought he had sold them. A few years later we got talking again, as I just wanted some information about some cards, and it turns out they did keep 4 cards, 4 winning cards. So the father used to run the site. He used to blog about his experience taking his children to Pokemon card tournaments back in Japan. I think it went from 98 to 2007. So a good decade, a good 12 years worth of history there. It's a real good read when the site was running. And I've been hounding him for about 6 months. Every 6 months I would actually drop him an offer, slightly increasing it, because I wanted to buy both cards from him. As the cards in question, there's only 4 awarded copies of these cards. One was given out in the spring tournament, and 3 copies were given out in the summer tournament. So that makes the spring one a 1 of 1 in essence. So yeah, I have the winning binder, as this actually came in the mail this morning. So here is the binder. It's like a real nice cloth fabric binder. If you go back right to the back of my channel at the beginning, you'll probably notice I had 3 of the same binders, and what they had were the 2002 Battle Road Spring and Summer number 1 to number 3. So number 1, number 2, number 3 cards. Let's just go up and down. So the difference with the binders, the spring binder came with this white backing, and whereas the summer one had this dark black, and even the binder itself, if you can notice in the video, this is like a navy color, but the summer one is like a light black binder. If you have Google Translate on your phone, you can translate this, but I think it was Kansai tournament, the Kansai area tournament, and it was the junior winner, the junior champion, who got this number 1 card. As you can see, the silhouette of Typhlosion, Meganium for Alligator in the background as well. But let me now show you the actual card, because I did actually take it out to inspect the card. And I did really put in some card savers. So I put in a big top loader, and then I put in a PSA sleeve. So what we'll do, we'll look at the back of the card first. As for me, this card is actually perfect. Let's take it out the sleeve. Really want to be careful with this, as this will be going off to PSA tomorrow, hopefully. So as you can see, it is very, very clean. Just look at that back. There's not a single imperfection on that card. I'm really happy with how this turned out. In the back of my mind, I did have that there will be slight imperfections on the card, maybe some chips of whitening, maybe a little dent here and there. But for what the card is, I didn't really mind. But the reveal, it is the spring number 1 girl version tournament winner card. It is surreal that I'm actually holding this card, considering I've been in talks for this for over 10 years. I've been talking to the father of the winner for so long. It was his decision to keep the winning cards, as his son actually came number 1 in this same tournament as well. So they have a boy number 1 too, and they have a victory ring which they won at a Battle Roads in 2003 as well. So those are the trophies they actually owned. There's not much to show you. There's no holo to it, but it is a rare card. So yeah, there it is, guys. I know I have been leaving you in suspense on Instagram for a while. This video will come out hopefully once this card's been graded. I'm hoping for a 10, to be honest. I've actually instructed PSA not to post this on their social media account, as I want to be the first one to actually post this, obviously. So yeah, there we go. Let me show you. So I did find out that there's another way to go onto the father's website. It is a dodgy website. It's not like a proper address anymore. It's like you got to do it with numbers. But let me see if we can translate this to English. I go all the way up now. So there we go. So there we go. There's the father. There's the winner of the card. There's his son as well. There's, I think, the fake Imakuni. And I think the last post was 2006. So if we scroll all the way down, there we go. So there it is. The girl's name is Asami, and there's the number 1 they received. He did actually swipe the card in the e-reader that you had for the Game Boy, and it comes up with Imakuni moving his lips as the animation, and then tells you about the girl being number 1. I did actually have someone arrive today to take scans of the card. They're like an organisation or just a bunch of guys who are really dedicated to preserving the e-reader cards. So basically that barcode, it gives you like animation, or gives you like something on the Game Boy. Some give you more than others, like you might just get a picture and build words, or you might get a small video. Just depends. But on most of these winner cards, it's Imakuni, and then you get like a paragraph regarding the card. But he came down. I didn't really want him swiping the card. I was a bit nervous for that. But what they do is get a really high definition scan done. And what they do, they take the code off the picture and then put it through an emulator and get the video that way. QW Chansey actually got me in touch with someone in the UK who actually called in sick for work just to drive down. It was about a 2-hour drive for him to come down. He bought his laptop, he bought his Epson V600 scanner, which is a lot bigger than the V33 that I use. I think the settings they use were like 3600 DPI. I don't usually go above 1200, so really high definition scans. He will forward me some scans which I'll eventually post and give him credit for. So hopefully you'll probably see that next week. And touch wood, I'll have a grade for this card by then, as I won't release this video until it's graded and I've got the card back in my hands. as I did mention to PSA, I know a couple of people in the upcharge department, so I just told them to tell the social media people to keep their fingers steady and not post it before I do. So touch wood, I'll be the first one to post this on my account. But super stoked about finally owning this card. Let's take this back a bit. So can't really hide the peakers. Let's put this number 1 right there. That's not an image you see every day. You got 2 peaker number 3s. You got a Chansey. QWA Chansey was really pumped when I told him that I'm getting this card, as obviously he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Chansey collectors out there. So this is like one of his top 5 cards. But yeah, guys, I'm super happy with me being able to purchase this card. They did decide to keep the other one, as my original offer was for both of them. I think I offered like £125,000. As I mentioned, I lost hope of buying the house. I thought, I've sold the Kangaskhan, I sold my Unicarp, I sold my Play Promo set, my Gold Stars. I sold quite a few bits. I've still got quite a lot of stuff left, but touch wood, I've got a deal in place, potentially in place for the VS set, and if I can get a sale on the Pikachu, I should be able to get the house. I should be able to get a house in that range, as I don't have to pay the taxes on my capital gains until January 2024. So I've got a while. I've got over a year to sort the taxes out, as if I was still running my business, the taxes would have been insane. Like on 250k, I would have to pay 160k in that year. I would have got 50k back, as you do a prepayment for your next year, but paying 50k and waiting 12 months to get it back is just insane. So I did close my business. I stopped trading, just to sell these and to hopefully buy a house. So that's my main goal at the moment. I'm still buying booster boxes, cases, special boxes, and odd bits here and there, but not like last year or the year before. I'm not really buying a lot every month. Don't think I've logged on to Zenmark in about 2-3 months now, and this is literally my first package in quite a few months. So yeah, guys, hopefully I'll see you in a few days, as I'll release a video for the PSA reveal. And yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed a bit of history of how I went about getting this card, and hopefully you've enjoyed getting a close look at this, as we've only had blurry images. Hopefully there should be a very high definition scan of this available online at some point next week too. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching.